Okay folks, in this lecture I'm going to show you how we can hide and unhide columns. Now sometimes you don't need to show all the columns in your data. Now this could be for a lot of reasons. For example, you might want to restrict your view to make your data cleaner. Also, if you're printing this spreadsheet out, you may not want to print out all the columns. Now, there are three ways to reveal hidden columns once we've actually hidden them. Now I'll show you those three ways. But first, I'm going to show you how we actually hide a column. So what you need to do is basically select the column that you wish to hide and then right click over it using the mouse and select the option hide. So for example, in our table here, let's say I wanted to hide the country column. So I'd simply select the whole column, then right click and go to hide. Now, you can see that Excel has hidden column B. Now, how do you know if you've got a hidden column? Well, if you look closely here, you can see that we've got basically two parallel lines coming down. Now, this is Excel's indication to the user that we've got a hidden column. Okay, so now that we've got our hidden column, how do we unhide it? In other words, how do we reveal it back? Well, the first method is basically to move your mouse to one of the parallel lines. And as you can see, your cursor changes to this symbol here. Then left click and hold down. And you basically drag to the right. Or if you select the other parallel line, you can drag to the left. And then basically you can see that column B has now revealed itself. And you basically just select how much of a width you want the column to be revealed. So if I let go, you can see that our column is now showing again. So that's the first method. Now, I'm just going to re-hide the column and show you the second method of revealing it. So the second method basically involves you moving the mouse again over to one of the parallel lines, then just right clicking and going to unhide. Now note folks, just before I click unhide, if you can see, when we've right clicked, we've got this thick line going down, which indicates that we've selected our hidden column. Now, when you do move your mouse over this folks, it does require a bit of delicate detail in terms of actually getting one of the parallel lines. Okay, now if I just click unhide, you can see our column is back. Now the third method of revealing the hidden column basically improves upon method 2. Now where I mentioned the fact that it's sometimes a bit tricky to move your mouse to get exactly one of those parallel lines of our hidden column, another method you can use is basically to select the surrounding columns of that hidden column via the mouse and then right click and unhide. So just to give you an example, if I hide this column again, now if I select the two surrounding columns, column A and column C, and then if I right click and go to unhide, you can see that because we went from A to C, Excel automatically has included B, and it's much more easier in terms of then right clicking and going to unhide, as opposed to locating one of the two parallel lines which we had in our first two examples of revealing the hidden column. So which method to use is down to you. I've shown you three ways to do it. My personal favorite is actually method number 3, just because it's a bit more quicker and doesn't require you to use the mouse to focus on getting one of those parallel lines, which depending on the size of your monitor screen can be a bit difficult. Now, what I mentioned earlier folks about you may not want to print out all your columns, I'll just show you how it actually looks as a print preview if you hide a column. So let's say I wanted to hide columns D and columns E and just show the order month, country, item and total. So because these two columns are next to each other folks, you can actually select them both and then right click and go hide, as opposed to doing each one individually. So I'm going to select both these columns I'm going to right click, go to hide. Now folks, just a quick note, remember you've got these two parallel lines here. So that indicates we've got a hidden column. Then if I press on my keyboard, Control and P to get the print preview screen up, and then click here, print selection. There, you can see that our print preview is basically just showing the columns that are visible on our spreadsheet. So we've got order month, country, item, and total. So that's another benefit of hiding columns, folks, is that when you're printing out spreadsheets, you might not want to show all the data for confidentiality reasons or other reasons. Okay, I'm just going to come out of this screen. Right. So that concludes this lecture, folks. I've shown you how to hide and unhide columns, and I've also highlighted some of the reasons why you might want to do that. We've also covered 3 ways to reveal hidden columns as well. Now, if there are any questions or queries, please feel free to reach out, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.